Nope, that's not a hologram. That's Hound. Wait, what? Hey everybody, this is Chris and welcome to my Transformers collection. And here is another 1984 original Hound. He was on the Ark, he crashed into the volcano, and Teletran 1 turned him into a green military Jeep. This is actually a scan, and I know it's not the best quality, but it's a scan of the figure that I owned back in the 90s when I was collecting sealed pieces. I actually scanned it in, because, you know, didn't have digital cameras and stuff then, for my old website called the Transformers Collector, and oh boy, that's bringing back some really old college memories. But anyway, this is the only photo I have of what Hound looked like in his original G1 package. The version that I have in front of you is actually the what's called Takara book box or book reissue. It came out in 2004. And what was nice about these is first of all, the packaging was awesome. It had a Velcro here and the box opened up, and inside was actually a sort of little booklet that had a bunch of artwork, and it's obviously in a language that I don't quite understand, but there's little holes, you can bind it up, and it just was a really neat thing. But also the figure itself was essentially identical to the original G1 release, and so you could get yourself a mint loose version because the original G1 loose that I had is a little bit rough and beat up, which is actually the version you saw at the beginning of this video. It's pretty loose and beat, and when I was able to get this guy in pretty much mint condition, it was pretty awesome. If you look at Hound's tech spec, his quote is, "Observe everything, remember even more," and his function is Scout. You know, Hound was a character in the original cartoon that I always kind of liked, and he had a lot of really cool stuff to do, but I think my favorite thing about him was, quite frankly, his holograms. You know, his special power was really awesome. I mean, how could you not love the fact that you could create something at any time? You know, he was entertaining Spike almost really early on in the show, and as a kid, you know, we were attached to Spike as well, that could be me. To have Hound create a hologram right there and take him for a ride in the middle of the man, that was just really cool. And then in Heavy Metal War, Hound created that giant robot thing to sort of distract Devastator. And in More Than Meets the Eye Part 3, Hound actually used a hologram to create an entire rocket base. So yeah, his superpower did not mess around. All right, let's take a look at what comes with a Generation 1 Hound. Obviously, pamphlets, booklets, sticker sheet, and if you picked up a reissue, you might get a collectible card of some kind. But as far as accessories are concerned, you'll get a lot of stuff that you're going to lose, which is kind of the case in a lot of Generation 1 stuff. But in Hound's case, some of the stuff is for vehicle mode and some of the stuff is for robot mode. So, you know, oftentimes these things do tend to get lost, like the jets and seekers were like that as well. But you get basically a missile launcher, 3 missiles, hologram gun, a posable machine gun, a gas can, and a spare tire. And here is Hound in vehicle mode. And I'll tell you, the colors really look nice on this. The black and the green sort of mixed together here, along with the chrome color on his machine gun. And if you look on the front here, he has just this awesome stuff all right here. It just really looks nice, especially when the light is shining on that front area. You get this whole bright silver everywhere, sort of contrasting with the green. It looks really good. He's a little bit smaller than a lot of the Autobot cars. And as far as size-wise, he has a real sort of small look to him, but he's really nice. Oh, and as you can see, he rolls almost a little too well. You'll notice that the spare tire and the gas can go back there, as well as the machine gun sits in a little port on the back. These 3 things tend to be lost because they only work for vehicle mode. And I've seen people actually post outrageous amount of want money for this particular gas can, and it's just a little tiny thing on the back. So the only thing about Hound that I don't like, which is a very small little nitpick, is if we take him and we dump him upside down, his head comes out when you tip him upside down. Now, I'm sure most people are assuming that you're not going to have an upside down flying car go by, so who cares? But that's something I noticed on all the Hounds. The head just kind of sits there. And here is Hound in robot mode, and he's short and stubby, and but he still looks really good. Again, a lot of it is this chrome stuff everywhere. It just really brings out a lot of the colors on this guy. Obviously, the missile launcher on his back, you actually have to clip in and put the missile in, and it fits really nice, really snug and secure. And the gun you can put into either hand. And if you push this trigger up here, pew, it shoots into your lights. But anyway, it does have a spring-loaded mechanism. The one in America, the original G1 version, was a little bit weaker in the spring department, but it still also shot out like that. It's really cool, and it's really nice, and he looks good overall. Hound seems to have a lot of sticker wear, and I think it's because the stickers are placed in a location where you have to do a lot of transforming, and they rub against stuff, and it gets beat up a lot. And so, you know, again, another reason why I was glad to get the reissue, because I have brand new, close to mint stickers on this guy. I've only transformed him a dozen times or so since I got him, maybe. And he's really remained in nice overall shape. Another thing with Hound that's a little bit interesting is he has kind of an automorph feature. During transformation, if you lower his tires, his arms slowly come out. And when you close up the chest, his head pops up. Is that, you know, possibly early automorph days? Who knows? But it's a neat little feature. For example, here's Generation 1 Prowl, who's a smaller figure as well, aka Blue Streak, like we talked about last time. You know, that particular mold. And you'll notice Hound is quite a bit smaller if you don't count that shoulder rocket. So he's a small little dude. And there you have it. There's a look at Generation 1 Hound. I hope you enjoyed this. Hey. Get out of there. Man, what a pain. This is Chris, rolling out.